Hi everyone, my name is Natalie. Happy start of the Springathon. I am very excited to be focusing in on nature reading with you all in the first 2 weeks of May. So if you haven't heard what the Springathon is all about, I will leave a link to the announcement in the description below. But basically it is a readathon dedicated to nature writing that is running from May 3rd on Friday until May 19th on a Sunday. So a little over 2 weeks. Today I wanted to share my TBR. They are not necessarily all of the books that I will be reading in May, and it's kind of more a pile of possibilities. The first one I want to talk about is Cherry Ingram, The Englishman Who Saved Japan's Blossoms by Naoko Abe. The other title for this is Cherry Obsession, and it is the group read of the Springathon this year to coincide with the Book Naturalists. And I'm really excited to read this one because it's both talking about Japan, which I'm already very interested in, and talking about the history of the sakura blossom and this particular man who was very central in the conservation of the sakura blossom. So it says, Collingwood Ingram, born in 1880, became known as Cherry for his defining obsession. As a young man, he traveled to Japan and learned of the astonishing display of cherry blossoms, or sakura. This is an eloquent portrait of an extraordinary man whose legacy we enjoy every spring and his unsung place in botanic history. So definitely a very suitable book for the Springathon. Then a book that I will be doing as a buddy read with Lindy from Lindy's Magpie Reads. We'll leave a link to her channel. You should all check her videos out. I absolutely love Lindy's weekly check-ins and wrap-ups. But anyway, I will be buddy reading this book with her. It is The Living Mountain by Nan Shepherd. I've wanted to read this one for ages. It's definitely one of the classics of the genre, and it has been referenced in many nature books that I've read throughout the years. This edition also has a introduction by Robert McFarlane and a afterword by Janet Winterson. And if that doesn't give you an indication of the book's legacy, then I don't know what will. It says, in this masterpiece of nature writing, Nan Shepherd describes her journey into the Cairngorm Mountains of Scotland. There she encounters a world that can be breathtakingly beautiful at times and shockingly harsh at others. Her intense poetic prose explores and records the rocks, rivers, creatures, and hidden aspects of this remarkable landscape. And I'm thinking of this as the winter prompt. It seems like it captures the harshness of climate, but also the beauty. And I don't know, I am associating this with winter, and obviously this one is for spring. The next one I have is a very recent release. It came out in the beginning of 2024. That is Unearthing, A Story of Tangled Love and Family Secrets by Kyo McClure. I haven't read any of Kyo McClure's books up to date, I don't think. But I've been wanting to for a long time, and I saw a excerpt of this before it had come out and really liked the voice in the book, so that is why I had been very eagerly anticipating this. So it says, Unearthing is written in the wild green language of soil, seed, leaf, and mulch, a memoir of inheritance that goes far beyond heredity. This is the story of what happens when we give up the weeded and pruned plots of our family histories and open ourselves up to a more expansive view of kinship. Told through the passages of seasons with beautiful illustrations by the author, it is a deeply thoughtful meditation on race, lineage, and grief, and a tender testimony to the ineradicable love between a mother and a daughter. And I'm thinking of this kind of as an autumn book for some reason. I don't know if there's something about the cover of this, but as the description says, it's celebrating the seasons in all its shapes and colors. So very eager to read this one. I remember Jessica J. Lee praising this as well, and she is definitely one of my go-tos when it comes to nature writing recommendations. And speaking of Jessica J. Lee, I also have her new book on my TBR. It hasn't arrived yet, but I think it will maybe tomorrow. It's Dispersals. And the only thing really I know is that it's talking about different types of nature, and I think it's supposed to be kind of a combination of things, history and personal writing. Like I said, I don't really know that much about this particular title. I've known about it before, but I don't remember at the moment. But I've really enjoyed both of Jessica J. Lee's previous memoirs. I don't think this is as memoir heavy as the other books are, but I love her voice and I love her approach to things. So I am sure that I will love this one as well, and I suspect that it will be my priority as soon as it arrives in the post. Next we have Palace of Palms, Tropical Dreams and the Making of Kew by Kate Telcher, and this is a book all about the Kew Gardens. I really wanted to visit the Kew Gardens last year when I was in London, but I didn't have the time to do that, and that is definitely one of my priorities when I get to go to London next time. And Kew Gardens is such a important place for its scientific research, and historically my association is with Beatrix Potter, but of course it's not the only reason that the Kew Gardens is famous, and this is a book all about it. So it says, in Palace of Palms, Kate Telcher tells the extraordinary story of its creation under the supervision of the first director of Kew, Sir William Hooker, and the designer and engineer Richard Turner, and Kew's curator of plants John Smith. It is a story of breathtaking ambition, of scientific discovery, and of the Victorians' obsession with the rare and wondrous plants it housed. So it kind of combines the Victorian scientific thing that I absolutely love to read about with human history and with general nature related writing. And this is going to be my summer prompt because of the tropical aspect of it. And yeah. So this is my association with summer. The next one I have is Below the Edge of Darkness, and the subtitle is Exploring Light and Life in the Deep Sea by Dr. Edith Witter. This is all about deep sea, deep oceans, and I mean anything marine related, anything water related, you all know I love. So it isn't surprising that I would be drawn to this book, but the thing that I'm really interested in is the focus on the light. The weirdness of marine life in very deep waters. After reading Julia Armfield's book, Our Wives Under the Sea, I've been really drawn to books about deep sea, deep water, anything of that kind. And so this was definitely going to be on my Springathon TBR. And let's see what the description says. Below the Edge of Darkness explores the depths of the planet's oceans as Witter seeks to understand bioluminescence, one of the most important and widely used forms of communication in nature. We experience life and death, equipment malfunctions, and witness breakthroughs in technology and understanding, all of it set against a growing awareness of the deteriorating health of our largest and least understood ecosystem. So water related would make me think of summer, but also the deep sea and the lack of sunlight would make me think of winter. So I'm going to make it as a kind of combination prompt for summer and winter, all of the contrasts. Next we have Some of Us Just Fall, On Nature and Not Getting Better by Polly Atkin. This is a memoir talking about chronic illness and connecting to nature, and it is one of my most anticipated of last year. I still haven't gotten to it, and I have it on audio, so I think that will be my audiobook of the Springathon this year. I really wanted to have something on audio because I'm not always going to have the time to sit down and hold a physical book. I think it's nice to have different formats to read through these 2 weeks, and I'm really drawn to this book. Some of Us Just Fall combines memoir, pathography, and nature writing to trace a fascinating journey through illness, a journey which led Polly to her current home in the Lake District, where outdoor swimming is purported to cure all, and where every day she turns to the natural world to help tame her illness. And I mean, the swimming theme is another reason that I was drawn to this book. I think it would be fantastic. The last of my Springathon TBR for 2024 is Losing Eden, Why Our Minds Need the Wild by Lucy Jones. I am so looking forward to finally getting to this one. This is all about the psychology of our connection with the natural world and why humans need it for our well-being. And I have read the author's previous book, Foxes Unearthed, which was the book that sparked my interest in nature writing. And so I'm going to be forever grateful for this author in shaping my reading life as an adult. And it was really a turning point for me in finding something that I absolutely loved. And so I've been wanting to read this one for a long time, and definitely going to try to make this a priority to finally get to it. I think I might have this on audio as well. I will check, because that would be a perfect thing to combine. It doesn't have a synopsis, so you're gonna get a quote. A fascinating exploration of the new science of our connection to the natural world, written in such lush, vivid prose that reading it one can feel transported and restored, says Sophie McBain from New Statesman. But yeah, I loved this author's previous book. I am sure I will love this one as well, and I thought that this would be a good book for overlapping with Mental Health May, which is another readathon that I think is going on this year as well. It was a thing last year. I'm not sure if the hosts are doing it again this year, but I thought it would be a nice overlap with Mental Health Awareness Month as well, and finally have an excuse is to prioritize this. So those are all of the books that I have on my Springathon TBR this year. Have you read any of these books? What were your thoughts about them? What are you planning to read in the Springathon this year? I would be very curious to hear all about it. I hope you have had a good start to your May, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.